All right, everybody in the Code 3 community, welcome. Hope everybody's having an awesome Wednesday. Today, we're going to show you a video or a news article out of the Wall Street Journal regarding used car prices. The article is titled, uh, Why Your Car Might Be Worth More Today Than When You Bought It. Well, I would question, what does worth more mean? Does that mean if you sell it, that you have more money, that your wealth has increased, that your position within the economy has increased? What does that mean? Well, this is kind of what we hit on with inflation and devaluation of currency and so forth. But if you take a look at this article, let me blow this up here so you can see it. If you take a look at this article, it's talking about uh, high used car prices across several models, how they've increased so much, and the article goes into talk about chip shortages and how you can't find new vehicles on lots and how that's put upward pressure on prices of used vehicles. All that is true. Um, Now it does talk about the auto industry is trying to catch up on lost vehicle production following the twin blows of widespread factory shutdowns early on in the pandemic and then a computer chip shortage that has idled car plants. Why would again ask yourself, did any of that exist in 2019? No. And I'm not being political because all parties had a hand in this, but this is what happens when you start pulling on the levers of a global economy. You cannot start creating huge disruptions and distortions and just start shutting things down and not expect some cause and effects. But I wanted to hit on something here real quick. If you look at this chart, here's whatever model of vehicle this is. I think it's saying that's a 2016. Yeah, those are different models of vehicles, years, 2016 vehicle. In April of 2019, that vehicle was $22,690 according to the Wall Street Journal chart. And in January of 2022, that vehicle is 26,065. So let's just do some quick math on that. 22,690 divided by what I say, 26,065. So we can say, what does that mean? Well, it's okay, 87%. So 13% increase in cost on that particular model of vehicle. So the way the article is written, 13%, let's divide that. That was 3 years ago. So let's divide that by three. Whoops. So 13% divided by three would be about what, 4.3% a year is what they're saying. The price of that vehicle went up in value. It's kind of how the article's written. But are you worth more? Are you wealthier? Are you better off in the real economy? The answer is no, because when you go to a car lot, if you sell that car and you go to a car lot, there's no cars to buy. So that this is kind of a frustration. We've been trained to only measure our wealth in dollars. Dollars are just a unit of measure. It's no different than inches on a tape measure or a meter stick or a yardstick or anything like that. Miles, kilometers, it's a unit of measure. And what's happening here is, yeah, you could sell the vehicle and have more units of measure in your pocket, but that doesn't mean you're wealthier, because if you can't convert those units of measure into something real goods and services in the real economy, there's no other cars to buy. You can buy less milk, you can buy less groceries, whatever the case may be. You can't go on a cruise ship. I mean, whatever it is, my point is there's less goods and services available to you, and the number of units of measure you have in your pocket. So I think this is something we've done a great disservice, is people are taught to buy low, sell high, and they don't understand that, yeah, some of this on some of these vehicles up here may be some appreciation, and that's a true increase in price above inflation. I suppose some of that would be on some of these newer vehicles, but that's all relative to the lack of vehicles. My point is, if you have a wage, if you have a job and you were making whatever, 20 bucks an hour, let's just pick something. In April of 2019, you bought this car. And now that same car, if you were going to sell it for $26,000, it doesn't make you richer. You're not richer by $4,000. You're not wealthier, because you can't. It takes that many units of measure. That's what currency is, to acquire the same goods and services or that particular good in the real economy. So this is a myth that we're telling ourselves, and I'm going to do a video in the future. Many of you know that we build real estate, we build some housing and so forth, and I'm going to do a great example just to tie it back to gold. Whether you're a gold bug or not, I don't care. That's not the point. It's just a really anchored unit of measure, ounces of gold, to illustrate this exact point, and I see it all the time with people in talking about the price of their homes, their wealth, and so forth. I visit with people all the time that want to build homes and what have you, and it's a constant narrative, and it's clear that many folks don't understand this. So anyway, if you look at this, so much of this is just a devaluation of the currency. It took more pieces of paper, more dollars, more units of measure to acquire the same thing. My good buddy Russ Gray, he says it like this: it's, if I walked in and said, "Hey, that's a nice car in the driveway. I'll give you 100 gallons for it. Would you take it?" Well, go ask somebody that. See what their facial reaction is. Just see how they look at you, and eventually they're going to ask the obvious question: "Well, 100 gallons of what?" And you say, "Well, just 100 gallons." Well, if it's 100 gallons of gold, I'm in. If it's 100 gallons of water, I'm not in. If it's 100 gallons of oil and oil is worth $1,000, I'm in. See, it's just a unit of measure, but you can put different things in there. So $1 is a unit of measure of value, of worth, of trading worth within a currency or within an economy. So these articles sometimes get written in a way that indicates you've gotten richer, your wealth has increased by $4,000, but indeed you've got poorer, you've become poorer in many instances because you can't get as much stuff. For example, if you have if you're Jeff Bezos and you have billions of dollars, you're the richest man on earth, and you walk into a place you want to buy something and there's nothing there to be purchased, how wealthy are you? Well, not very wealthy unless you control real things, unless you, which he has physical wealth. But it's an illustration that you could have $1 billion US dollars or any other fiat currency. And if you walk into some place to exchange those units of measure for something in the real economy and that something isn't there, or it has exceeded the amount of dollars or the unit of measure you now have, that doesn't mean you're wealthy. So anyway, I just wanted to hit on that. I've seen this article. I thought maybe the community would appreciate it. If you like these videos, if you think they're helpful, help us grow the community. Like the video, share it with friends. Let's put more people in the community and let's get more done as a team. We can all move the needle on this when we start getting a bigger following. And when we do that, we'll be able to bring more guests to you. And we'll start doing some interviews with other people that are aligned with the same mission, vision, and values. So with that, we'll see you on the next video.